This is Of the African DNA, your hub for exploring Africa's influence on global culture, history, and civilization. Let's get into this. Welcome back to Of the African DNA and our video about the history and future of Uganda. Uganda is a country in East Africa, bordered by Kenya to the east, Tanzania to the south, Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo to the west, and South Sudan to the north. Uganda has a long and rich history, dating back to the early Stone Age. The earliest peoples of Uganda were the Central Sudanic peoples, who migrated to the area from Sudan in the first millennium BC. The Kuliak speakers arrived in Uganda in the second millennium BC. Ancient history. The Central Sudanic peoples were the first to establish permanent settlements in Uganda. They lived in small villages and practiced agriculture. The Kuliak speakers were a more nomadic people who lived by hunting and gathering. In the first millennium AD, the Bantu peoples began to migrate to Uganda from West Africa. The Bantu peoples brought with them new technologies, such as ironworking and pottery. They also introduced new crops, such as bananas and plantains. Colonial Period. In the 19th century, the British began to explore Uganda. They were attracted by the country's natural resources, such as ivory and rubber. In 1894, the British established the British Protectorate of Uganda. The British rule in Uganda was marked by some positive and many negative aspects. On the one hand, the British built roads, schools, and hospitals. They also introduced modern agricultural techniques. On the other hand, the British suppressed traditional African cultures and imposed their own laws and customs. The king of one of Africa's oldest kingdoms is threatening to take Britain to court for war crimes committed by UK troops during the colonial era of more than 100 years ago. These actions, he says, were committed under the command of Colonel Colville against the kingdom of his grandfather, Kabalega, when Bunyoro was annexed under the British Protectorate of Uganda in 1894. Evidence of abuse was easy to find in the Ugandan case since records were kept with great pride by the perpetrators. King Iguru gained data from the Public Record Office in London, Oxford's Rhodes House, and the Churchill Archives in Cambridge. The records tell of vast quantities of ivory, metal artifacts, and cattle looted by British soldiers under orders from Colville, devastation of villages and slaughtering of civilians by Nubian soldiers. Uganda finally gained its independence from the United Kingdom in 1962. The first president of Uganda was Milton Obote. Obote was a socialist who wanted to create a more equitable society. Idi Amin came to power in 1971 in a coup d'etat. He was a brutal dictator who ruled Uganda for 8 years. During his time in power, he committed numerous human rights abuses, including the expulsion of all Asians from Uganda, the killing of thousands of Ugandans, and the support of terrorism. The Entebbe raid. In 1976, Israeli commandos rescued 102 hostages from an Air France plane that had been hijacked by Palestinian terrorists and flown to Entebbe airport in Uganda. The raid was a major success and boosted the morale of the Israeli people. The overthrow of Idi Amin. In 1979, Idi Amin was overthrown by a Tanzanian-backed rebel army. He fled to Libya, where he died in 2003. The assassination of Prime Minister Lul. In 1979, Milton Obote was overthrown by a Tanzanian-backed rebel army. Lul was the first Prime Minister of Uganda after Idi Amin's overthrow. He was assassinated just 68 days after taking office. The Lord's Resistance Army conflict. The Lord's Resistance Army, LRA, was a rebel group that waged a war against the Ugandan government from 1986 to 2006. The conflict caused widespread death and displacement. The 2016 Ugandan general election was the fifth presidential election in Uganda since the country's independence. Yoweri Museveni was re-elected as president. The people of Uganda. Uganda is home to over 40 different ethnic groups. The largest ethnic group is the Baganda, who make up about 18% of the population. Other major ethnic groups include the Banyankole, the Basoga, and the Acholi. The people of Uganda speak a variety of languages, including Luganda, Rukiga, and Acholi. English is the official language of Uganda, but it is not widely spoken outside of the cities. The people of Uganda are known for their hospitality and their resilience. They have faced many challenges in their history, but they have always bounced back. Present day. Uganda is a rapidly developing country. The economy is growing and there is a lot of investment in infrastructure. The country is also a major tourist destination thanks to its beautiful scenery and diverse wildlife. However, Uganda still faces a number of challenges. The country is still recovering from the effects of the civil wars, and there is a high level of poverty. However, Uganda also has a number of opportunities. The country is rich in natural resources and the population is young and growing. If Uganda can address its challenges, it has the potential to become a prosperous and stable country. GDP is projected to grow 6.5% in 2023 and 6.7% in 2024, assuming any global growth slowdown will be short-lived. In conclusion, Uganda is a fascinating country with a rich and diverse history. It is a country of great potential, and I hope that this video has given you a better understanding of its past and present. Thank you for watching the first in our new series of videos about the African continent and the beautiful countries in it. Stay tuned to Of the African DNA for more enlightening content.